Happy Thursday, boys and girls. My name is Jeffrey Scott Mitchell, and I'm tired. I'm tired. I didn't sleep well last night. I didn't sleep well last night, and the story I'm going to tell is because I was inspired. I was inspired and excited. So I was up just listening, trying to get in, take in as much as I could about my newfound inspiration. Ayn Rand, A-Y-N, still learning how to pronounce that. I don't want to say Ann. I think it's Ayn Rand. I ran across a podcast about her, or an interview, I think with Tom Snyder from back in 1979. This thing excited me and inspired me. Well, inspired is a strong word. This thing got my attention to a degree that nothing has in a long time. Objectivism. Objectivism was her philosophy that she's tried to develop. And there's so many points to it. There's so many parts and ideas of it that align with what I'm thinking currently, with align to what I've evolved to think and believe, that it was astonishing. Right down to the way she even defended it and explained it unapologetically. Just, it was yeses, there was nos, you're wrong, that's not it, absolutely not. She talked in very definitive terms, if that's the right word. And then last night I was, going into deeper and deeper into it in podcasts. And Lex Friedman had a guy on his show who works with the Ayn Rand Institute, who was very close to her and was able to give some insight and explain a few things as far as, the philosophy of objectivism, how it came about, what he thought Miss Rand would think. It just had, I just kept listening. I was excited. It could have been I had caffeine. It could have been that, I don't know, I didn't eat enough. Maybe I took a nap, woke up 2, 3 in the morning. I was just laying there. So I had to get up and get a snack, and I did. A fairly big one to help myself sleep. Cookies, vanilla wafers, vanilla wafers, the vanilla wafers, the brown kind, Kroger brand, and they're like wafer cookies. Had vanilla, some of those, and some circus peanuts and gummy worms. It just aligned so much what I was thinking. And I guess the major part of this that I want to get, the biggest point of this I want to make is that I'm, researching her and listening to stuff and people talk about her. And it seems to start in the 60s or something. She exploded after she wrote Atlas Shrugged. And the guy said that this is where her philosophy started to develop, because she started off wanting to be a screenwriter. And not even novels, she wanted to write movies and screenplays. And one time she was talking about, she said she knew that's what she wanted to do. So in school, the teacher asked her, well, if you're so, not if you're so smart, you're being smart, how did you do in school? She said she did good. And she unapologetically would say, I was smarter than everybody. There's a hierarchy to intelligence. She said, so she would sit there with her book, covering up, and she would write screenplays all day because the work was too easy. She wasn't challenged, and she knew she was smarter than everybody. Well, she knew she was smart. I guess to say that. She knew she was smart. And so they would say, so it started off in the 60s or whatever it came out. And a lot of people say, yeah, 14, 15, 16-year-old boys read the book and were inspired. A lot of people who talk about this book read the book when they were young, in college, or late teens, mid to late teens, and was inspired. And they went on to further study the philosophy. But for me, it seems like all these years, my philosophy has evolved and built on my experience, pulling from here, taking from there, things I agree with from this, things I understood from that, to put it together. And recently, I've been talking about the self. There's nothing more than self. I talk about how each reality is individual. I talk about self-happiness. So many of the things that I evolved to deeply hold as my truths at this time align almost 100% with what this lady was talking about with objectivism. It was just like, and since she's brilliant, the way she articulated some things just said exactly what I wanted to say in the most profound and definitive way. I was just stunned. I was just simply stunned. And just a matter of fact, she was like, no, that's not, she'll just tell you, no, I don't believe that. You're wrong. Or something said, she talked about altruism is not good. It's quote unquote wrong. Altruism is wrong. The self-happiness comes first. And that's exactly what I've been been saying, that even if you do something for somebody else, you're really doing it for yourself. But she even took it one farther, saying that altruism, which is being promoted in Western culture, or you can say United States, is going to be the downfall of this country. She wanted to get rid of the welfare state. She believes in laissez-faire. Government should not be involved in the market, in economics. It's just so much that she said and put down. And reason is the basis for everything. Reason is the basis for everything. And she explained how, through mysticism and objective reality and our perception, and again, she was saying that our perception of reality is filtered by our consciousness, or determined or interpreted by consciousness. And that's what I was saying, that I was actually saying there's no objective reality. But actually she's saying there is. And maybe, I think she's saying that our individual interpretations of that are going to vary greatly. Collectiveness. She said there's no collectiveness. So that means there can be no one universal thought or one universal anything. She said she didn't believe in collectivism. We should all be individuals. And this is the stuff that I've been trying to put together, that I've developed as my ideas come along. I'm thinking, because I'm gonna have to get to the point. I don't have to do anything, but I have to get to the point. I'm gonna get all my podcasts, line them up, and I've been wanting to do that. Get my podcasts, line them up, to make them a more coherent explanation or demonstration of what I believe in. And it seemed like it aligned right up with what she's saying, and objectivism. And she was like, she didn't want it to be called Randism or after her. She didn't like that name. She rejected it, in fact. Where me, I got Jefferyism. But she was thinking more forwardly, in a bigger sense, to where I'm tongue-in-cheek in it, and just want to build it and then let it evolve into something more palatable for the masses, should that need to be the case. That's why I have no problem calling it Jefferyism. But it was good. I was excited. I was laying in the bed thinking, this is it. This is it. I found that thing that's going to inspire me and get me up and become a supercharged producer, creator, and just take off to that next level. This is the thing that is going to bring out deep motivation for me. It was fun. Like I said, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm posting stuff. I found she wrote something, a letter of philosophy or something like that, something to that nature, which explained her objectivism, and like a, pretty much very 2-minute read. I posted that at like 3 o'clock in the morning. That's just where I'm at. Okay, once again, I forgot where I left off. Crossing the street, I turned this off. I'm completely debungled. Just made that word up. But it was just very inspiring to come across the philosophy that I've evolved to believe in, laid out so beautifully by someone 50 years ago, 50, 60 years ago. Just articulated so well, so unapologetically. Just straight talk. That like Russian, just straight talk. Just yes, no. Just cut right to the chase like a computer talk. Just unapologetic. She said, and I think Mike Wallace, there's another interview with her and Mike Wallace. And he said, so you're talking about altruism. You're talking about I'm my brother's keeper. He said, so are you telling me that you are against, or you disavow, or you don't believe in altruism or helping your brother? He said, you think that's wrong? And she said, not only do I think it's wrong, I think it's evil. I was like, I threw my hands up in the air and almost cheered. It was beautiful. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm listening to this, 1 o'clock, whenever I was watching it. And I was just so inspired. He said, not only do I think it's wrong, I think it's evil. And every time he throws something at her, she come back with a reasonable answer. And I say reasonable, meaning based on reason and some strategic or planned, not strategic or planned out thinking, but based on premises or axioms or something like that. Whatever the word is. There was logic to it. It was just truly inspiring. So now I'm gonna have to get me an Ayn Rand t-shirt and give me objectivism research t-shirt. Hell, I may even have to reach out to the Ayn Rand Institute because it's just beautiful. They said talk about the self-happiness, all the stuff that I be talking about. How I say I'm number one and nothing, everything else is second, third, fourth. That's all the stuff that she preaches, or she is in objectivism. It's just all about the self. Self knows. Nobody can determine your morals. Nobody can determine just all of it. It's just like beauty. It's like there wasn't one, and there were so many quotes that I wanted to pull out. I'm listening to her, a podcast, people talking this and that. There were just so many quotes I wanted to just pull out that just laid out what I believe in the most beautiful soundbite. I was like, oh, I need to start writing these down. So, and I'm also like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning in the bed after eating cookies, Googling how to get her books, The Fountainhead and Atlas Shrugged. I actually started watching Atlas Shrugged on one of the Prime Video things. It was okay. It was interesting. Yeah, because I didn't know she had written it. I didn't know what it was a big about. So I just happened to start watching it. It was like part 1, part 2, part 3. So I Googled to see where I can find the book in the movie for the Fountainhead. They say read the Fountainhead first. And to the point that where I looked it up on Kindle and actually in paperback form. I'm so inspired that I even thought about actually getting a book that I could hold in my hand and touch. And actually, not necessarily on my phone or not even an audio book, a real reading. I was like, wow, that's how these people talk about the influence that book had on them and the impact and how good they are. I'm listening to Lex Fridman and the Ayn Rand guy. I think his name is Yannon something. I forget his name, Brooks or whatever. I'm listening to him, and they're dropping these other names about people who think along the same lines or stuff they pulled, philosophies they pulled from there. And Ayn Rand said she can't stand Kant. Immanuel Kant was like the devil to her. I'm probably saying that the wrong way, and I hope I don't disrespect her words. That's how much respect I have for what I've just found. She said like he's evil. That whole philosophy was evil. And I remember I used to be in the camp. Well, I was in the philosophy period. Learning that you can learn about such philosophical ideas. And Kant was one of the first, one of the ones that, and Jung, the staples, you started to learn from, whose ideas, I guess have permeated our education in society because they're good solid foundations. There's a reason they did because they're good. They make sense and whatever makes sense to me. But I'm rambling now, and I want to just get this down a little bit. Definitely got to dive forward into it. I want this to have a bigger impact than my rambling because I'm much more inspired, I believe, than I let on. Because there's so many ideas that I heard her say that I want to relate back that line exactly up to what I was thinking. And like I said, the thing to me that really got me is all these people read these books when they were young. College. Lex Fridman said he read it when he was in college. All these people say, yeah, I read the book when I was 15, 16, blah, blah, blah. I read it after I developed it. I didn't read it and develop from it. I developed my ideas and my philosophies up until now, and then found it, and then to find it and to have it just align so beautifully and magnificently with what I'm thinking. And I was also thinking there's probably a chance that in my, videos and writings, somebody has probably suggested that, I should probably look into Objectivism or Ayn Rand. Somebody would say, I'm pretty sure somebody would say, you sound like Ayn Rand, and I can understand that. Because they used to really put me in Nietzsche. So, and it's just good. I just want to get that out there today and say, happy NFL season, opener day, Detroit and Kansas City Thursday night. Sunday, the Steelers go at it against the 49ers, who may be the fourth best team in the league as far as power rankings. Pittsburgh is a 2.5 point underdog at home, which translates to a 5.5 point dog. So we'll see. Might have to call my daughter, tell her to drop a 50 on that. Just to see, just to see. Put a 50 on it. Even now, my Steelers, I already got $20 for them to win the Super Bowl. It's gonna pay $1,000 because they're going off at 500 to 1. I might put a little bit more money on that too. Maybe like to win the AFC Championship or to win the division. See what kind of odds I can get on that. Those jobs. But anyway, just wanted to holler. say what's up, say I'm back out here. Worked in the office yesterday. It was good. It was kind of boring. Wasn't as exciting, as it was when we were coming in once every quarter. Now we're gonna see each other every Wednesday. And I think, and the funny part about it, it's there for us to promote camaraderie and talk and sharing stuff. And we did. And the one time that I really talked to somebody who I don't usually talk to, and we had a good conversation, it was on how they don't want to drive in, how they don't want to have to come in once a week. Oh, that was good. It was good. I just realized that today. I was like, and then even after, I was like, look, we camaraderized. Because three of us would probably, as a collective, never get together and talk. We just happened to end up, they just had to end up at my desk. And we were talking or this or that. And I was like, yeah, we're talking about his 2.5 hour drive to get here. Then it went on and on, people started talking. I was like, look, we camaraderized. Then we camaraderized about how, he can't sustain, he may not be able to sustain driving in every day. I mean, driving in once a week, because it has a major impact on some people. Major impact. This is a for real thing. And also, we have to remember, or I try to factor in the fact, we're changed people now. You didn't let us taste working from home. We don't want to, now we know. Now we know what it's like, and we like it. And like my boss said, decisions that can be made, got to be made. We're not like, I was going to say, we're not family. It's not like dependencies or anything, or what probably is. I don't know how to put it, but he's saying, hey, if you got to go, you got to go. He was saying possibly 20% of the people here might end up, moving on. So we got to be prepared for that. There's nothing wrong with it. But that's good. So, it was interesting for me to go in, seeing downtown LA. I don't want to say it's gotten worse, but even though that's probably what's happening, I don't want to say it's gotten worse. I don't want to say it's gotten worse, but I probably could very easily say that. What I was saying is that it's become more intense. It seems like what was there already just grew in proportion. So now it's like either the space got shrunk with the same amount, or the amount of what's in the container grew. And it's crazy. You walk downtown, you got people sleeping on the street, just, homeless. I don't even know if they're homeless, just people mentally, with mental challenges. I don't even know if mental challenges is the right word. I don't know what to call it. But people with, maybe challenges is not disabilities. Or disabilities might be challenges, I don't know what the word is. I'm talking about crazy people as opposed to somebody with like mental challenges, or what we used to call retardation. I don't know. I know we don't use that word anymore. But, trying to find the right word, trying to find out what's going on. You see me drift off and say something that was errant. Black girl driving by, we made eye contact and kind of locked in on it. Sometimes, how you be walking and then, not just somebody catches your eye, but eyes kind of catch each other, and you kind of lock, and you just kind of go into that thing where it's almost like you're exchanging energy, or not energy, but you're exchanging information. Here's why I cut it off. This is why I cut it off, all the noise. I noticed in the podcast, it's better just to wait till I get back on the path away from traffic. And just don't even, Just don't even record during this time, but I left it on for the heck of it. Just to see. I left it on for the heck of it. And now it's quiet, waiting on things. Come on, people. I'm running late. I started late today. I'm not gonna get as many steps in. I'm gonna be running late. I will cross the street, but the police standing right there. Come on. I gotta go, thank you. It's about time. He saw the police kind of looked at me and kind of smiled. He knew I wanted to go. So, that's why I don't usually hit that on traffic. And then what I would do is I like sometimes be walking in that traffic and I'll pause it and I'll start it right back up. When I'm away from the traffic, you can hear severe difference in the quietness and the tone where my voice is recorded and all that. But anyway, I'm starting to wake up a little bit. Starting to get ready for it. I won't have as many steps in today. Nowhere near. Should be like 3,500 steps less. Should be like 3,500 steps less. So I'll probably end up with like 5,000. Maybe 6,000. I might get 6,000. Cause see, I get 100 a minute. And so I should have walked. If I get 100 a minute, I should have walked 70 minutes. So I should come up with about 7,000. That don't sound right. But I guess I'll take 7,000. Somebody set stuff on fire. You can still smell it. Somebody set stuff on fire. Can you see it? But so that's that. That's where I'm at today. Happy Thursday. Happy NFL season day. I'm excited. Excited about my football team. I've been watching them. I've been watching the podcast, keeping up. For whatever reason, I sit down after work, my little meal, my little quote unquote snack, dinner. Was supposed to be a snack. But I did start going back eating popcorn. I started back to eating air pop popcorn. Putting a lot of butter on it, not putting salt on it. Using my no salt substitutes concoction that I make and put it on there. With butter and air popped and go from there. And I popped a third of a cup. It wasn't enough. I gotta go up to a fourth of a cup. Because I think white corn pops more than yellow corn. Or one of them you just get more. I forget which one. It's probably white because I think I got a bunch of yellow packs in there. But so that's what I used to. That was the only thing I used to have. After work. Now I slippery sloped into damn near eating a whole meal after work. After I, finish up. After I have my breakfast and my lunch. And, not too big, not very small breakfast. Like a half Italian sausage, an egg, quarter cup of grits, and a third cup of grits, and a third cup of cottage cheese. Probably I'm slippery sloping, so it's a little bit more. I put a little extra in there. Even though I'm measuring things, you can still put more in there. But I do that because at least I know now that I'm putting more. I'm aware that I'm putting more in there. As if I'm just arbitrarily spooning stuff into a plate or a dish. So at least I know in my mind, okay, that's in my mind I think, that's too much. And not too much is, completely subjective and relative. But that's the kind of effect I'm gonna have. Well, not that much. Even if some days I say, it's gonna be 2 scoops today. So if I can get back to doing my popcorn at night and my Crystal Light Kroger brand knockoff. My Kroger brand Crystal Light knockoff. No sugar drinks. And put down the black and miles. Deal with this income tax thing. What else? That's about the income tax thing. Make sure I got all my days off scheduled for the upcoming football season travel. And all that and all that. Come to find out that my retirement, well, some accounts that I inherited, pay dividends at the end of the year. You gotta pay taxes on those dividends, even though they're reinvested. Even though those dividends are reinvested back into the fund, you still gotta pay taxes on them. So they got me. So I'm gonna say, okay, yeah, you're right, you got me. And there's some hoops I gotta jump through to make sure, that we kind of straighten it up and amend some stuff, hopefully, and do that. So I gotta get on that today. What I'm gonna do is, I think I'm gonna set up a payment plan to pay this money back, because it's a lot. And then I'm gonna do an offer and compromise. Because I got the money. I got the money to pay them. And if they ask me about my financial, I might not tell them. Well, I'm gonna tell them. Or I might not tell them and just drop the case. If they ever get it at my, you don't need to know. But it's like, because I've done an offer and compromise before, where I was paying on it, struggling, missing payments, blah, blah, blah. And it was obviously I was in hardship. And they were like, okay. I'm like, okay. Pay this much, blah, blah, blah. Negotiate with them. So, gotta go through that. Hopefully get to go through the effort of getting the 2022 ones amended, so I can at least save penalties and all that stuff. So I called DWS. She said, you still gotta pay taxes on it. I need a financial advisor. Very, very badly. Anyway, my name is Jeffery. Jeffrey Scott Mitchell. Swinging on y'all 2 times. For me, for the funk. See, that for me part is objectivism, self-interest. I forget what you call self-interest, selfishness. And for every elementary particle that has ever existed in any atom, in this, or in any universe that ever was, is, or will be, a totality of it all, a theory of universe, a hypothesis of all is one. My name is Jeffery.